everyone. So we're back on the Torana this weekend. Cylinder heads come back from Graham. It's all been machined up and good to go. The trans is out at Western Suburbs Automatic Transmissions getting looked over, and the converters over at Asnew getting stripped apart and rebuilt. So exhaust is back from the coders, and now we're just in the bit of getting the cam out and swapping the cam and the lifters over. Holden being a Holden 6-cylinder, oil pump won't come off the side of the motor in place. So we've had to prop a couple of car jack stands under the motor, let the hoist up and down to rock it up off one mount, and that'll let us get the oil pump out clear of the steering rack. So oil pumps off and fuel pumps off. We're going to jump in and get the side covers off and the timing cover off, and that'll just be a case of pop the lifters out, hopefully the cam just slides out, and then we get the crank gear off, and it's a reverse of putting it all back together, ready for the trans to go in and then plonk the head on. So we'll get the camera over here and we'll get into it. Okay, so this one I have to do by hand. Because the dipstick's in the way. Pop him up there. Grab your motor. Bolts should have their little gaskets on them, which hopefully the new side covers come with, but just in case, pop them off. He's got one. This one. Okay. One we dropped. And they should just pop off. Like that. And the gaskets should just come away. Too short. Alright, now I'll grab a seal pick and should be able to just get in there and slide those lifters up and out, because they haven't done a lot of work, so they shouldn't be mushroomed. Okay, so try and stay out of your light. That's our hydraulic lifter that we're trying to get out of there. And like you can see, they've done bugger all work since this motor was built, so we just get the small flat blade screwdriver in where the circlip is at the top and gently pull up. And I can't do it one-handed. There we go. And they just slide straight up. No damage to the bore. The lifters have got no damage to the bottom. So which I didn't think they would, but you never know. But yeah, so again, come on, can't see. Come on. Oop, there we go, get him up high enough to grab, and then they just slide straight out. Alright, I'm gonna put you guys back up on the stand and I'll slide the rest of these ones out. Okay, so I don't have my glasses, so this is going to kind of be hard to show you guys because the screen on this thing is tiny, but if we look on there, that lobe face, or sorry, the face that runs on the cam lobe, every single lifter looks near new. So there's no scoring on the bore of the lifter, or sorry, the casing of the lifter, there's no scoring in the bore of the block. This motor has, like I said, it's literally done no work since we put it together. I'm going to find a container at home. We're going to pack those lifters up in the order they came out of the motor and label it all. So that way those lifters, that cam and the gear on the cam and the crank can all stay as a set. And if Ben wants to move it on or sell it, or if someone can use it, it's a really nice running cam combo. Like with the little 350 Holly and any HEI Dizzy, this motor runs sweet. So we'll package all that up, wrap it up. It's probably honestly got 3,000-4,000 miles on it since it was actually fitted in the car, so bugger all work. The new ones, I'm going to have to soak the lifters in a container of running in oil for a few days before they go in, but we will get in and get this old stuff out and get it all cleaned up. Through the week we'll go through and do our prep on everything, clean it all, and then yeah, we'll plonk the lifters in when we're ready to drop the head back on. So move the camera around and we'll get this front cover off. So hopefully I've undone the 4 bolts that go through the engine pan up into the bottom of it. Hopefully this is like everything else we've pulled apart so far, and yeah, just pops straight off. Should be somewhere down here that we can get behind. Here it is. Just give it a little lever. There we go. Hard, it's starting to go. Start with a small one. This one in. And just make sure, yep, everything's off. There we go. Got the dowel that has to pry off as well. And now, hopefully we can get it off without damaging that gasket at the bottom. This over here for the motor. Nice. Okay. Okay, so I've managed to get out these 2 ridiculous little Phillips head grub bolts that Holden uses to hold the thrust plate in the block for the camshaft. we've got the motor lifted up a little bit, or sorry, the car lifted up a little bit, so the motor rocks on a bit of an angle on the stands, because with the grill out, I'm hoping the camshaft's going to slide through where the grill should be and clear the bumper. So now if we slide this out, and I've also made sure that the camshaft and the crankshaft bolts actually line up. So I suppose I should show you guys that. So down here on the cam gear has a dot, and the crank driven gear or drive gear has a dot. So we've lined those up. It's top dead center firing number 1, because that's where we pulled it apart. And now that's where I'm going to try and slide this out without dropping it and gouging bearings. Good. Now that we can hold the damn thing, it's a bit easier. Have to drop again. We're clear of the bumper. Should just have one more bearing to pass through for the rear journal. There we go. Put it in the back of the ute and we'll get use off the stand. Okay, so over in the back here, we've got all of our lifters that we pulled out. Turn this the right way around, and they match the lobes that they came off of in order. Now this cam, I wasn't sure what we put in last time we built it. I think, I'll try and find somewhere here. CWC on there. I think it could have just been something that the engine builder supplied. It's got an EP35 on the casting, and that I believe is about all we can see as an identifying number. With my sketchy eyesight it is anyway. What's this? C2, yeah. But all the lobes and journals, they've been getting decent wear. And anything up there? No. So no identifying marks on it anywhere, but, well, not that I know of. All in all, nice standard rebuildable, or reusable, sorry, camshaft and lifter combo. If someone was doing a Red Motor 6 and just wanted a stock refresh. It's got a Repco gear set on there, so that was definitely supplied by the engine builder, because I would have had a Crow one if it was mine. So yeah, alright, we'll clean up and have a look further in. Okay, so we've got the new 35604 cam from Crow with our cam gear and thrust plate pressed on. Got some assembly lube there for break-in lube for the cam. There's the old gears and everything we've got off the crank. So I'm going to take some of that and probably lube from that bearing journal all the way to the end. We'll get that assembled in the motor, and then when that one's sitting in the front journal, I'll lube up the rest of those lobes in the front one, a little bit on the gear, and send it the rest of the way home. So that way I can handle it getting it in there. And yeah, we're right to start putting the front of that motor back together. Okay, so I just got it everywhere. I've got this cam lubed up, ready to go in, and yeah, we'll see if we can get it in without making a mess. Okay, just got to lift the car a little bit. Just to get the angle of that block right. Come on. There we go. That's our distributor gear through. Now we're up to that second last cam bearing journal. We're going to let it sit there, and I'm going to lower this engine, or sorry, lower the car back down again to sit the engine more flat. And so now that is sitting where the cam clears, and I can put a bit more lube on the on those last few journals to go in through there. And we're right to finish sending it away. This stuff is horrendously sticky, so a little bit goes a really long way. Do the back faces of all these lobes, and then we'll turn it. Do the other sides. Our fuel pump lobe. Do the top faces of these. Okay, pop this back over here. Where's Where's that rag gone? Work out where our timing mark is on this new pulley. So it's that one there. And he has to line up with the one on the gear, which is that one there. Okay. Nearly. Nearly. This has got to go there somewhere. And can I get in here to just try and support the cam a little bit through the oil pump drive? Now, did I line that up? Hey, all right. So that's in, and our timing pointers are lined up. I'm not going to try and turn this too much because we don't want to wipe any of that lube off, but we're going to have to turn it a little bit so we can line the bolt holes up to put our thrust plate bolts back in. But our timing set pointers are back where they were before. Now we just got to get the holes in that cam gear to line up, and we'll put our thrust plate bolts in and we're ready to go. Okay, so what we've got done for today is front covers all back on, buttoned up, and sump gaskets all sealed back up again around the front without having to drop the sump off. Balancers back on, got the fuel pump back in there. I'm not going to use it for the EFI obviously, but we're going to do the initial startup with the Holly and bed the cam in because we know it was running like that. Got the oil pump back on and the engine mount hook back up. Filter back on. So now I've just got to get around to I've got to bring a container in from home. We'll get all the lifters soaking tomorrow in the morning, and we'll leave them soak for a couple of days so they've got a chance to bleed all the oil out, air out of them, get all the oil in them, and then we'll pop all the lifters in, chuck the side plate covers back on and reseal them. Then we're pretty much just a couple little accessories and stuff like that, but then we're waiting on the transmission to get back. Once that's back, we can pop that in, tail shaft in, and the converter, and that way the motor will be sitting stable and we'll get to drop the cylinder head on. Once the head's on, obviously intake, exhaust, that kind of stuff, and then we get to do the fire up and running in the cam. So that's where we're going to pull it up for tonight. All went reasonably straightforward. And yeah, really short one. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for sticking around, and yeah, if it's interesting, give us a like, share, subscribe. Don't miss out on the next one that's coming up. Hopefully there's a little bit more on going on there, but again, yeah, thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Yes, I'll come back to you. Then I'll ask, what have we done under the sun?